So what's up, people of the NBA? Hope you guys are good. Week 2 of the NBA. That's the second time I say NBA, but yeah. I just want to do a quick review of the games that have been played over the past few days. So my reviews regarding these games are going to be based on a 5-game basis, given that the NBA has so many games during the season, and I thought having a 5-game stretch between my reviews would actually allow me to have enough material to talk about, and also it will stop me having to bombard you with so many videos regarding, let's say, perhaps 1 or 2 games, probably, let's say, one night of many games. So why don't we get started with my week 2. In regards to minutes per game, right now we have Boogie currently leading the NBA in terms of minutes per game. It's followed by King James. No one else. It's fascinating when you think about it. LeBron James is entering is in his 15th season and is top 2 or top 3 in terms of minutes per game. And even more astonishing is the fact that the second Cleveland player to be even close in terms of minute to LeBron James, Kevin Love, and Kevin Love only averaged just under 30 minutes per game. If you look at the list, Kevin Love is not even in 100 players averaging at least 30 or above. So it's quite fascinating to see how good this guy and how high of a level this guy can play, despite averaging the most minutes in his own team. So it's hard up to this guy. Really is a trooper, honestly. He's going to be one of those guys that when we look at the history books, we say yes, he was definitely one of the great. But in terms of athletes averaging high minutes, you've got Giannis is starting well, currently leading the league in terms of points per game. You also have Jimmy Butler of the Timberwolves. You got Drew Holiday as well as Anthony Davis in the top 10. So I've mentioned that in my first video regarding Washington Wizards with Kelly Oubre, John Wall, and Bradley Beal, all averaging high minutes, being the star players in the team. And I was quite shocked by that, especially when you think about the fact that they were actually missing a few pieces. Why would they be on the floor on so many minutes per game? But you look at what the New Orleans Pelicans are doing as well, with Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, and Boogie all being on the floor for so many minutes. It's like, come on, you guys are the best player of the team. You can't all be together on the floor averaging that high minutes. You want to maximize your potential on the field, in the sense that as time goes on and as the season goes on, you're able not only to preserve yourself for the extension of the season, but also be smart enough to let other guys take some spots or take some reps, and get the chemistry going within the team. But I'm not a coach. I just analyze the game, so probably explain itself. But in terms of points per game, we've got Giannis, the Greek Freak, 31 per game. You got Boogie following with 28.6. You got Kristaps Porzingis at 29 per game, but that also explains itself. You got Melo, who left to go to Oklahoma. Kristaps is taking over. He's taking over the chains. He's now the main man in New York, which is really fun to see. Being that young, and also drafted the French boy Nitilikina, who is also a highly rated youngster. So good luck to New York, but we'll see how it goes. Another guy who's in the top five, Anthony Davis, averaging close to 27.4. Two New Orleans Pelicans, like I said, been on the floor for that long, bound to average that many points. Another dude, mentioned his name before, King James, of course, 29.1 average. He actually dropped to 57 the overnight. Hey, this guy is legit. It means business. His team went on a bad run, lost a few games. When they asked him, he said, "Which month are we in, guys? Come on, it's October. Why are we stressing? It's King James. This guy's going to do the business." But them Warriors guys, they're on the other side waiting for you, bro. You watch out for them. Sorry. Another guy as well in the top 5, actually top 10, sorry, is Steph Curry. Steph Curry is close to a 50, 40, 90 this season. So 50%, shooting from the floor. 50% field goal, 40% free points, 40% free point attempts, and 90% free throw. So he's very close. He's slightly low on his field goal attempt, which is about 49%. So Steph Curry is gonna get that up, but that'll be the second time he would go back into that elite group, having already done that in 2015, 2016. So it'd be fun to see that happening. In terms of assists, you've got Russell Westbrook. This season, he's not having to run around being gassed out, trying to average doubles every night. You got Melo, you got Paul George. These guys now is the distributor. He literally stays distributor. He doesn't attack the basket as often as he may have done in the past. Now, when you think about it, in the long run, it's going to allow him and his teammates to be ready come playoff time. Remember last year, they got to the playoff, Russell didn't have any more. He didn't have anything to give. And that was down to the fact that the guy averaged a triple-double the entire season. But kudos to him. This season, he's taking a step back, allowing everyone else to take over. So, really interesting to see. Second on that list, you got John Wall, around 10.1.2. You got James Harden. You also got King James. This guy is here. And you got rookie, sort of, in Ben Simmons, averaging about 8.2. I will talk about Ben Simmons in a few minutes, but Ben Simmons has been another revelation, not only amongst rookies, as in the sense that he didn't play in his first season being injured, but he's doing things that allow him to be compared to the greats like LeBron James, perhaps Magic Johnson. But is it a bit too early? The same also could be said about the way Lonzo Ball has been criticized in terms of his play. But like I said, I'll mention that in a few more moments. In terms of rebounds, you got DeAndre Jordan, I was going to go NFL level, but DeAndre Jordan, 14.6 rebounds per game. You got Howard, 14.2. Also got Drummond, 14.7. You got Boogie, 13.7. Anthony Davis as well, 12.7. So two New Orleans Pelicans again in the same category. Like I said, they are on the floor for quite a lot of time. It's bound to happen. But I want to take this opportunity to talk about Boogie, in the sense that Boogie has in a sense elevated his game to a point where he's definitely in a category for MVP. The guy is balling. He's balling right out. I feel like they are in a sense switching position with him and Anthony Davis. At times Anthony might play center and then Boogie play the power forward, and often enough it's the other way around. But what's interesting about Boogie, being such a big man, he can shoot a free, and he's very good at shooting a free as well. So you got two guys hopefully, touch wood, none of them gets injured, and they will be in the playoffs. That would be very, very interesting to see, given how well they are playing. But I'm looking forward to seeing them keeping that level of play and taking it to the next level. But they're currently ranked, they currently have a 5-5 record, so it's just 500, which is good. Another topic I want to talk about is the Orlando Magic. No one is taking the Orlando Magic serious. I know it's early in the season, but these guys are 6-3. I'm gonna throw some stats at you, and you'll be amazed how well they're doing. They're currently fourth in terms of points per game, the third in terms of assists per game, the fourth in terms of field goal percentage, the third in terms of 3 points made, the first in terms of 3 points percentage. That's including the guys from Oakland. They have a better 3-point percentage than the guys from Oakland and James Harden in his troops. They also they're also bowling in the sense that they have a 16-3 record. So, I know, like I said, it's the early stage, but you never know. You never know. You never know. Like I said, you never know, because you would expect the usual guys to turn up come playoffs, but I feel like this year might be their year, and I would love to see them moving a few steps forward, and then hopefully reaching the playoffs. I mean, the latter stage of the playoff. Hopefully, that'll be interesting to see. Next point will be on the Golden State Warriors. The usual suspect, currently have a 7-3 record. First in terms of points per game, they're averaging around 120 points per game. These guys are shooting for fun. The first in terms of assists per game, the first in terms of blocks. Like, they actually stop people from scoring, and Draymond as well as KD are the leading blockers in that team. So you add in JaVale McGee, you add in Zaza Pachulia. It's a mismatch. These guys, I don't actually know who's gonna stop them this season again. But I'm looking in the East, and I feel like can Cleveland do what it did 2 seasons ago? If not, Boston is having I can't even speak. They're having an electrifying start of the season. Boston lost the kid from Utah, but they play in the sense that they play into a level that nobody actually expected them to play. And yes, I know they finished the top of the East last season, but you missed out. You switched the team around a bit. You got a new guy in Kyrie coming in. You got a few new kids coming in. Jason Tatum is literally light up. Is he going to be in the category for rookie of the season? You never know. Early stage of the season. But honestly, Golden State, like I said, going back to them, the first in terms of blocks per game, so they actually stop people from scoring physically, in terms of literally rejecting them. They're actually first in terms of field goal percentage, the second in terms of 3 points. The second in terms of 3 points, second in terms of 3-point percentage, because all on the Magic, I said number 1, and the second in terms of free throw percentage as well. They're also second in terms of steals. So not only do they stop people from scoring physically at the rim, they also the second best team in terms of steal in the league. So that tells you this is a team that's not bound to take a step back. They are literally moving forward. They will do everything and anything to get back to the final and win it again. They have the pieces, bearing injury, which is less likely to happen, touching wood. But these guys are good. I don't see anyone that is stopping them. These guys are probably going to go all the way. On to my next point, rookie of the season. For me, it's straightforward. I know it's early stage, but Ben Simmons is the leading candidate. There was a spell within the first few games of the season where Lonzo Ball perhaps may have led the chase, but now the keys have been handed to Ben Simmons. It's like there are the keys. Take us to the promised land. And this guy is electrifying. This guy is good. Like I said, being compared to some of the greats you mentioned, LeBron James, Magic Johnson. There is not so much faults in his game apart from the shooting. But like I said, as a rookie, you can't turn up in the league and be one of the best shooters in the first season. It's gonna be it's quite hard. Sometimes it can't happen that quick. But that's why he's there. He's gonna learn. It's gonna be a learning process, and hopefully, as time goes on, he will get better. Not only in the shooting, but also in the passing, because that's why he's being compared to the LeBron game, because of his passing ability, and also his frame is a huge guy, and then can play power forward, also a point guard. So that's very, very good. And like I said, the reason why I believe he's going to be rookie of the season is probably down to this. So I give you these stats. Currently leading rookies in terms of points per game, which is around 18. Rebounds around 9.8. Assist 8.2. And minutes per game, which is 35.2. So he's literally among the elite in terms of minutes per game. So he's literally battling against the guys like I said, the guys that I mentioned, like the Boogies, the Jimmys, Drew Holiday, Giannis, and King James as well. Like I said as well, going back to Lonzo Ball, there was a spell within which Lonzo actually led all rookies in terms of minutes per game, but that as his time has been reduced significantly. I don't know why, but Ben Simmons is doing the business. So I believe he's going to be the rookie of the season. And then a quick shift. The reason why I want to mention this guy's name is because he hasn't probably gotten the attention that he should have or probably deserve in terms of Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma is a second round draft pick for the LA Lakers, but his performance on the field has been on the court has been overshadowed by another first rounder of the Lakers in Lonzo Ball. But Kyle Kuzma is no joke. Kyle Kuzma is literally bowling as well. I'll throw you these quick stats. Third in terms of points per game, 15.7. Sixth in terms of rebound, 5.7. 14th in terms of assists per game, 1.4. You don't really expect that from a big guy like him. Second in terms of field goal percentage. Seventh in terms of 3 points. So big guy can actually shoot. Seventh in terms of minutes per game, averaging around 27 minutes per game. But every category in which he's not in the top 3, if he's not in the top 3, actually no, if he's outside the top 3, Lonzo Ball is not above him. That's it. That tells you exactly how significant his impact or his input is in getting the Lakers to where they actually need to be. So Kyle Kuzma needs some love. Kyle Kuzma is bowling, and he's going to be one of those guys, as well as KGP, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, that will allow Lonzo Ball to perhaps flourish. If these guys can take some of the pressure off him, Lonzo Ball will definitely flourish. But given love, Kyle Kuzma is a true bowler. My last topic to finish off will be on the MVP. King James is hard. It's hard for me not to give him the MVP at this early stage of the season, because the guy is in his 15th season. He's playing over 30 5 minutes per game is top 5 in terms of pretty much every category. It's one of those things you've got to, when you see greatness, you've got to say, you've got to literally just bow to greatness. You know, it's LeBron James is a true is one of the kind, and it'll be interesting to see how the season progresses. He's having carried the entire team, literally. But one thing as well that I perhaps didn't find was quite fair was how people made it seem like LeBron James switched position in terms of being the point guard and taking over the point guard position. LeBron James literally plays point guard every day, every time he plays. He has the ball every time, anytime. So the term playing a point guard, it's not new. LeBron James been playing point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers for quite a lot of time. So let's not try to make it seem like it's new. But for me, like I said, come the end of the season, it'd be hard for me to go against him if he keeps on playing to that level, keep on bowling like this. They're currently 4-6. It's not a good record, but it's the East. Often enough, you think like you'll be walked through, but Boston, like I said, are bowling. Kyrie went there, and it's like he's been there since he was drafted. Kyrie hasn't made any. He hasn't reduced the impact. He hasn't made them regress by no means whatsoever. Kyrie went in there, and he was like a piece that was been there for quite some time. And they're bowling, they're playing really well, playing excellent basketball. They're always having to come back and win games, which is a really crucial trait in terms of resilience that will actually allow them to keep on bowling for the entire season. But Boston, I don't see why they can't win the East again for the second season in a row. King James, he has his handful in terms of having to deal with, let's say, some of his pieces, some part of his pieces not having to pull their weight in terms of getting the team where they need to be, and also having to face Boston come the playoffs. But I feel like Boston might do the business again. It'd be a shame not to see LeBron James in the final, being his 15th year, and bowling the way he is, but it's possible. Sometimes it doesn't always go the way you always expect it. That's sport, and that's why we love it, and that's why I love it, and I hope that's also why you guys love it. That's my quick review of week 2 of the NBA. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I'm happy. Give me a like, comment below, let me know what you feel like I need to improve on, and I'll see you in my stream.